Arian has finally spoken in a way that has shocked everyone. The things she shared were not small, not light, and definitely not easy for her to say. She sat down and opened up about her life with Martell, her frustrations, her pain, and everything she has been holding inside for years. When she began talking, you could feel that she was tired, drained, and done with the same cycle she has been stuck in for more than a decade. She did not laugh, she did not sugarcoat anything, and she did not try to make herself look perfect. She spoke the truth as she experienced it, and that is what makes this moment so powerful. People are now looking at her story in a new way because she finally told it without filters. Arian started by explaining the latest drama that pushed her over the edge. She said Martell came to her house at 6 in the morning over something she called nonsense. You could tell that she was irritated because this was not the first time he showed up unannounced or created some stress early in the morning. Their history has always been messy, but this time she seemed more aware and more willing to step back and look at the whole picture. She said clearly that Martell is still stuck in his past with Melody, and this made her realize that she is being played or used. She feels like she's always in the middle of something she never asked for, and she is tired of it. One of the strongest things she said was that she believes Martell still has feelings for Melody and wants her back. This statement opened a new discussion because many fans have been wondering the same thing. Arian went into detail about how Martell talks, how he acts, and how he behaves whenever Melody's name comes up. According to her, he is still emotionally attached and has not moved on. Even though he tries to present himself as strong or independent, his actions tell a different story. She said this is why the drama between them never ends. It always connects back to Melody. Arian also shared that Martell has been thinking about giving Melody full custody of their kids. She said he is tired of the back and forth, the fighting, and the arguments. But she does not believe this is the real reason. She thinks there is something deeper behind his sudden change of heart. She said he wants to look good in front of the public and maybe even Melody. She repeated more than once that Martell is a super dad, but being a good dad does not mean he is emotionally healed or ready to move forward. She said he has been stuck emotionally in the same place since the divorce, and she feels like he will stay stuck until he finally lets go of the past. Then Arian focused on herself, how she feels, what she has been through, and how much she has tried. She admitted that she feels like she has lost her credibility ever since she had a child with Martell. She said she is judged all the time, she is called names, and she is blamed for things she did not even do. She does not know whether she lost credibility with the public, with Martell, or with Melody's supporters. But what she does know is that her life completely changed. She became a mother, and everything became harder. She says she makes sure Martell's kids are taken care of, even though her role is not always respected. She wonders if Martell is even trying to prove himself to the right people, or if he is only trying to protect his image. She also says she is not allowed to stay at Martell's house anymore. This upset her because it showed her that she is not considered part of his life the way she thought she was. She said she is tired of trying to prove herself to people who never cared. She says she was done putting in effort when she gets nothing in return, and you could feel the pain behind her words. This moment showed how she feels used, unwanted, and pushed aside whenever things get complicated. Arian then talked about the way Martell acts on the show Love and Marriage in Huntsville. She said he brings Melody flowers into scenes to make Melody look good and to keep the story going. She said this is part of why she feels manipulated because she feels like she was being used for a storyline. She said Martell is always trying to save face, to look innocent, and to make sure people see him the way he wants them to see him. But behind closed doors, she experienced a very different version of him. According to her, Melody has buried him in the past, and he is still recovering from that, even though he never admits it. One of the biggest revelations came when she said Martell asked her to post fake messages online. She said he wanted her to defend him when leaked phone calls came out. She said he made her do it early in the morning, forcing her to wake up and go live just to clear his name. She said she now regrets doing those things because he never defended her in the same way. She believes she was manipulated and used to protect his image while she was left to deal with the stress alone. She even mentioned old rumors that Martell physically hurt her. She didn't go into detail, but she said she felt forced and pressured to keep going live for him. She said this was unfair and traumatic. She said she stood by him, but he never stood by her. She said she still loves him, but love is not enough when you are being hurt emotionally and mentally. She said she has no games left to play and wants to be a better example for her kids. She repeated many times that she is 33 years old and has been way too good to Martell. She feels like her kindness was taken for granted and her loyalty was never appreciated. She said she lost herself in a relationship trying to make something work that was already broken. She said she wants to choose herself now because she can't keep living in the past. When she talked about Sugar Mama, she clarified something important. She said Sugar Mama is not her child, but she feels protective because she doesn't want any child to get caught in the middle of adult problems. She said Melody's influence and Martell's decisions affect a little girl in ways people don't see. She wants to be careful about what she does because she knows children learn from the adults around them. She says she wants to be a good example and stop the cycle of drama. Arian then talked about the way she is stuck in with Martell. She admitted that even when she says she's done, she gets pulled back in because of old habits and emotional attachment. She said she does not want to repeat the same mistakes anymore. She says she is tired of Martell expecting everything to be just edits on the show. She says she does not believe that excuse anymore. She wants honesty, responsibility, and real growth, not excuses. She talked about the 11 years she spent in this cycle. She says she feels like Martell threw her under the bus many times. She always came to his rescue, but he never protected her. She said this is why she is speaking now, because she is done being silent. She said she does not want to wake up at 60 years old and realize she wasted her whole life on a man who never saw her worth. She also talked about how their drama between Martell and Melody used to make them a power couple on the show. But behind the scenes, she was the one dealing with emotional damage. She said Martell broke her something she never asked for, and she is tired of it. One of the strongest things she said was that she believes Martell still has feelings for Melody and wants her back. This statement opened a new discussion because many fans have been wondering the same thing. Arian went into detail about how Martell talks, how he acts, and how he behaves whenever Melody's name comes up. According to her, he is still emotionally attached and has not moved on. Even though he tries to present himself as strong or independent, his actions tell a different story. She said this is why the drama between them never ends. It always connects back to Melody. Arian also shared that Martell has been thinking about giving Melody full custody of their kids. She said he is tired of the back and forth, the fighting, and the arguments. But she does not believe this is the real reason. She thinks there is something deeper behind his sudden change of heart. She said he wants to look good in front of the public and maybe even Melody. She repeated more than once that Martell is a super dad, but being a good dad does not mean he is emotionally healed or ready to move forward. She said he has been stuck emotionally in the same place since the divorce, and she feels like he will stay stuck until he finally lets go of the past. Then Arian focused on herself, how she feels, what she has been through, and how much she has tried. She admitted that she feels like she has lost her credibility ever since she had a child with Martell. She said she is judged all the time, she is called names, and she is blamed for things she did not even do. She does not know whether she lost credibility with the public, with Martell, or with Melody's supporters. But what she does know is that her life completely changed. She became a mother, and everything became harder. She says she makes sure Martell's kids are taken care of, even though her role is not always respected. She wonders if Martell is even trying to prove himself to the right people, or if he is only trying to protect his image. She also says she is not allowed to stay at Martell's house anymore. This upset her because it showed her that she is not considered part of his life the way she thought she was. She said she is tired of trying to prove herself to people who never cared. She says she was done putting in effort when she gets nothing in return, and you could feel the pain behind her words. This moment showed how she feels used, unwanted, and pushed aside whenever things get complicated. Arian then talked about the way Martell acts on the show Love and Marriage in Huntsville. She said he brings Melody flowers into scenes to make Melody look good and to keep the story going. She said this is part of why she feels manipulated because she feels like she was being used for a storyline. She said Martell is always trying to save face, to look innocent, and to make sure people see him the way he wants them to see him. But behind closed doors, she experienced a very different version of him. According to her, Melody has buried him in the past, and he is still recovering from that, even though he never admits it. One of the biggest revelations came when she said Martell asked her to post fake messages online. She said he wanted her to defend him when leaked phone calls came out. She said he made her do it early in the morning, forcing her to wake up and go live just to clear his name. She said she now regrets doing those things because he never defended her in the same way. She believes she was manipulated and used to protect his image while she was left to deal with the stress alone. She even mentioned old rumors that Martell physically hurt her. She didn't go into detail, but she said she felt forced and pressured to keep going live for him. She said this was unfair and traumatic. She said she stood by him, but he never stood by her. She said she still loves him, but love is not enough when you are being hurt emotionally and mentally. She says she has no games left to play and wants to be a better example for her kids. She repeated many times that she is 33 years old and has been way too good to Martell. She feels like her kindness was taken for granted and her loyalty was never appreciated. She said she lost herself in a relationship trying to make something work that was already broken. She said she wants to choose herself now because she can't keep living in the past. When she talked about Sugar Mama, she clarified something important. She said Sugar Mama is not her child, but she feels protective because she doesn't want any child to get caught in the middle of adult problems. She said Melody's influence and Martell's decisions affect a little girl in ways people don't see. She wants to be careful about what she does because she knows children learn from the adults around them. She says she wants to be a good example and stop the cycle of drama. Arian then talked about the way she is stuck in with Martell. She admitted that even when she says she's done, she gets pulled back in because of old habits and emotional attachment. She said she does not want to repeat the same mistakes anymore. She says she is tired of Martell expecting everything to be just edits on the show. She says she does not believe that excuse anymore. She wants honesty, responsibility, and real growth, not excuses. She talked about the 11 years she spent in this cycle. She says she feels like Martell threw her under the bus many times. She always came to his rescue, but he never protected her. She said this is why she is speaking now, because she is done being silent. She said she does not want to wake up at 60 years old and realize she wasted her whole life on a man who never saw her worth. She also talked about how their drama between Martell and Melody used to make them a power couple on the show. But behind the scenes, she was the one dealing with emotional damage. She said Martell broke her down in ways she never expected. She said some of the things he pushed her to do were only meant to make Melody jealous. She said this made her question why she stayed for so long. Then came one of the most shocking statements. Arian said Martell has been waiting 5 years for Melody to take him back. She said he does not see her the way he sees Melody, and that is why she finally set boundaries. She says she can't keep living in the shadow of a past romance that is long over. She says she is done entertaining the nonsense and wants peace. But she also asked a question. Will she actually stay away, or will history repeat itself? She said the cycle is strong, the emotions are deep, and the attachment is real. She says she is trying to choose herself, but the situation has a way of pulling her back in. As she continued sharing, you could see her growth. She's putting her mental health first. She's thinking about her children and the example she sets. She is beginning to see the relationship for what it really is. She is recognizing manipulation, emotional stress, and unhealthy patterns. This is a strong step for someone who has been stuck for so long. She also talked about how their drama affects families and kids. She mentioned Sugar Mama again because she knows that children absorb everything. She says she wants to protect the kids from the chaos because they don't deserve to carry adult problems. She knows the next generation is watching. Toward the end, she says she believes Martell still has a long way to go. She said he needs to let go of the past, heal from old wounds, and stop trying to control the narrative. She said he needs to be real, not just for her, but for himself and his kids. She does not know if he will change. She said only time will tell.
As for Melody, Arian acknowledged that Melody is running her business, taking care of her kids, and staying focused. She says she is handling things with strength while Martell and Arian are stuck in their own emotional storm. She said Melody's dedication to her children, especially Sugar Mama, is one of the most stable things in this whole situation. In the final part of her message, Arian said she is stepping back. She wants to breathe, focus on herself, and break the cycle. She wants to grow, heal, and find peace. She wants to stop living in pain and stop investing in someone who doesn't invest in her. She said this is her line, her moment, her turning point. But she ended with the question that everyone is asking. Is this truly the end, or is this just another chapter before the cycle starts again? Only time will answer.